I'm here with Syndee Holt, polymer clay artist, and she's going to show us how to make cabochons. And this is wonderful. You can bead around it or put it in a bezel. Use it for anything.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what do we do to get started? We're using polymer clay.
Right. And the first way is to use the Cabochon molds that are available now. And these are great. They're really flexible, very easy to use. And I have to tell you, they are addicting. Oh my goodness.
I can tell.
Yeah. You don't have to, but I like to wipe it with just a little bit of a damp sponge. And then I take my ball of clay and I always pinch some off because I always have too much clay.
Just always, you know.
Always. I know myself. I know I always do. Just press it into the mold. Wipe the edges back as you work so that you have nice clean edges on there. And then just pop it out.
All right, so you make just the basic shape, and you could use it just like that.
You can use it like that. You can add adornment to it. What I'm going to do is show you how to make a quick little Skinner blend here to put on the top to make this beautiful agate type look.
Yes.
So this is just 3 pieces of clay stacked together. And my trick is I add a metallic thin sheet to the back. That adds a glisten to the colors, kind of tones them down a little bit, and it holds them together when I run it through the pasta machine.
Now, does it matter how thick those pieces are?
These are #1 layers here, and you can see that the gold layer is a thinner layer. It's about a #3, #4. Just depends on how much metallic you want in there.
Okay.
I'm going to run this through the pasta machine with the narrow side down on the widest setting. And you run it through, you fold top to bottom, and you keep running it through until you get this nice even blend like this.
Do you keep folding it top to bottom to keep those stripes?
Always. You don't want to take your stripes and go this way. You're going to blend your colors. You want to keep it going this way.
I see.
Yeah. So once you have your blend and you like the way that the colors are going, you set your machine to a thinner setting. Oh, I'm going to go about right there. Whoa, almost went the wrong way. Roll again from the narrow to the top.
Oh, and there you can see it pick up the blend.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then you can select the part of the blend that you want to use on this if you want a nice even blend in there. But let me show you. You can also take it this time and go through with the colors going this way. And you're going to get all 3 of your colors in a short blend.
So either way.
Either way. Whatever way you want to use it with. I'm going to cut a short piece of this off so I'm not putting a whole bunch into the mold. And I'm going to put this, I'm going to wipe it first. I forget this part. I get so excited to see what it's going to look like that I forget. Yeah. I'm going to lay that right on the mold and push this pre-made one that we have on there.
Okay, and you don't have to bake the pre-made one first.
No, no. And I'm just going to take these and kind of trim it just a little bit. There we go.
Great.
And wrap these back around it.
And then do you push them a little bit more in the mold?
I push it into the mold to get any bubbles, any air bubbles that I have out of it. And then I can just lightly trim it off. Pop it out. Woo-ha!
So pretty.
Isn't that great?
Yes.
It comes out just fabulously. And you can even use your scrap. I have my scrap sitting here because I push that in and you get these fantastic patterns.
I love the way that looks too.
And you go, oh yeah, I meant to do that.
Right.
Now if you don't have a mold like this, there's other ways that you can do an interesting looking cabochon. I'm going to pull this over here. I have 2 #1 layers of clay. And this is another #1 layer. I kind of like to pattern my clay a little bit for this. So I'm going to take my favorite stamp that's always on my table. And I'm just going to kind of push the clay on here.
Make some texture.
Make a little bit of texture on it. Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Looks good.
I put this on top, and I'm going to take a cutter. I'm going to use an oval teardrop cutter for this. And you put a piece of this is just computer paper on top.
And what's the paper for?
The paper adds a resistance that will round the edges. If I cut this just on its own, you would get those nice,
Flat
clean,
sides,
sharp edges.
yes.
And I've learned to take something that's big and flat and push on top.
Instead of your hand.
Yeah. So when you push through and you take it off,
Oh, look at that.
you get this beautiful rounded shape on there.
Gorgeous.
Very similar to working it with a cabochon.
Right.
And then you can use any shape cutter to do that. But that's
looks
not
great.
the only way that you can do this. But wait, there's
But
more.
wait.
You can also, I like to use spoons sometimes. This is really effective if you want to make one focal bead. It's a little difficult to make several that match this way.
A little more organic.
Yeah, it's a little more organic. And again, you want to just spray it with water just a little bit. And this is a spoon that lives on my clay table. It does not live in my kitchen.
So make sure it's just for clay.
Right. Notice that I sprayed a little bit of water on it, and I'm just going to push the clay in here.
All right, or you could make it into an oval shape even.
That's right. I could take my fingers and pull it out just a little bit. You're right.
Or maybe you have a set of spoons and you have different sizes and shapes.
Yeah,
I see where you're going with this.
I kind of like my plastic spoons, what they do too. And you can see that that gives me a nice rounded shape there that I can work with my fingers and make a great little cabochon.
These are some great ideas. Let's take a look at your finished ones too.
A lot of these are scrap clay again. I love using the scrap clay and then a glaze over it.
Looks so pretty.
This is the blend again that we did.
All right.
Here's one that's been made with the cutter, and I added just some cane pieces to it that I had. These have just some of the metallic powders just dotted on with my finger, and I like to add a little shot of the glitters to that too. I just think it just adds a punch to the, to the metallic.
Oh, it really does, and it looks like you have the stone too, that granite look.
Yes, the granite. This is using a granite type of clay, and I added glitter in there to see what would happen with it.
That looks great too.
And this is one that my son made out of scrap that we were so proud of.
And this looks like a metal bale, but did you do that part after it was already baked?
I did. After I baked it, I started with an oval of clay, and then I used like the back of a bamboo skewer to punch and make the texture in it. And then I just laid it over the cabochon and just kind of pressed it on. And this is just a thin strip that's wrapped in a coil. This similar to what I did here. This is extruded or rolled and added on there too.
Oh, there are so many different ways you can finish these.
Oh, it's endless. And
yes.
Imagine a beater like you, what you could do with a fabulous one like that.
I am ready to get creative with these. Thank you so much, Syndee.
You're welcome.
We will be right back.